Let's go!
We did character legacies, much less visual histories for a whole bunch of MK characters before they came out. We've done a visual history for Yoshimitsu, of all characters, because of the, you know, wide variety of different visual styles between two different games. But man, like, Tekken has gone through some dramatic changes of how characters look, and arguably has some of the most iconic fighting game character designs of all time. So there's a few that I want to do. We should absolutely start off today with Kazuya, because Kaz has changed a ton throughout the majority of games he's been in. Visually can have kind of similar look throughout most of the games, but in terms of an artistic like art style throughout a lot of games, it's definitely changed a lot. I think it would be unfair if we didn't take a look at the devil form. We should be doing that, so don't worry. We're gonna do that. So let's start from the very beginning. Second one, Kazuya. And what is the immediate image that we all think of Kazuya when it comes to Tekken 1? It's just his eye, brother. It's probably the meme. And yes, we remember this because it's from the legendary Tekken 1 ending where Kazuya throws Heihachi off of a cliff. And this is the bitch we all remember, right? This is the bitch we remember. So there he is in all of his perfectly proportional glory. It's simple, right? It's simple. Is it that much different than Ryu? A little bit, right? A little bit. It's weird how the main roster characters for the big fighting games at the time, Tekken, Virtua Fighter, and Street Fighter, all have pretty similar main dudes. It's Ryu with a Sagat scar with no, with all of his chesticles out. I get you. But I'll counterplay that, because in the same game, you see the same character looking a much different way. And I think if we're thinking of Tekken 1 Kazuya, this is probably the best comparative, because this is kind of a sick color, right? In my opinion, when I think of Tekken 1 Kazuya, yeah, it's the one with the wife beater wearing like tattered jeans, and he has Nikes on. They are literally goddamn Nikes, bro. Beginning the Kazuya trend that he's obsessed with sneakers. So all things considered, I think they're all pulling from Ryu a little bit, even Virtua Fighter to a certain degree. But if we're going to talk about these old designs, I think this one's only all right. It's about like a 6, maybe a 7 if I'm being real. Not to be, I don't know. But to be honest, this one's like an 8, dude. I kind of really love this design as what is as known as a younger Kazuya. I kind of really like this one. All right, so here's Kazuya's devil design in Tekken 1. And woof. Yeah, this ain't it, bro. I hate to break it to you. This ain't it. This is not it. What in the hell? This one's kind of like about maybe a 4. Tekken 2 Kazuya goes through some changes. The design gets a little bit better. This is what I would historically call the vampire outfit for Kaz in Tekken 2, right? Where he looks like he's friggin' Bram Stoker's Dracula or some shit. And I don't hate this design. This would later go to become one of Kazuya's more like defining outfits, him essentially wearing like purple, and purple being the defining color of the character, which I do appreciate. This is really the rise of Kazuya as a potential like bad guy, like the actual last boss of the game. I don't hate this one. I think we're definitely getting there, but if we're talking about the overall quality of the way I think this old school costume looks, it's like a 6. And it's tough for me to think because ahead I know this gets so much better, but even with the classic representation of the character, I think it's about a 6. Tekken 2 Devil. Damn, look at this sexy bitch. Look at this. Damn, the saxophone kicked in. Oh man, you guys are swooning. Is starting to get a bit closer to what the modern Kazuya is. This quote-unquote devil form is not bad. I've always thought personally that the Kazuya devil form looked a little goofy. You know, all things considered, Kaz in his devil form has always been a little odd. So it's an improvement over this. It is. But to me, like, this is still something hovering around, like, we're just copying Devilman right now. I don't know if I can comfortably give this old design anything more than a 6. Actually, I'm going to bring that down to a 5, right? I'll bring it down to a 5. Even in gameplay performance, it doesn't look good, man. Even in this, his big fuzzy ass legs. We're going to skip Tekken 3 because Kazuya is just not in Tekken 3. We have to go to Tekken Tag. And here's where I can confidently tell you they're figuring out the character. The character is actually getting upgraded, because in game it's different, but in design and in cutscene, Kaz gets a massive upgrade. Tone down the purple suit, they put it behind a big jacket, and this version of Kazuya is friggin' awesome, dude. They definitely had a massive upgrade in Tekken Tag 1 in terms of the way Kazuya looks, in my personal opinion. This was the cover of the Tekken Tag album that I had. Unfortunately, his in-game costume is kind of almost identical to Tekken 2. So they pretty much just directly port over this costume. I feel the exact same way about this in this game as I do in the other one. It's not a great alt. And if we look at his traditional outfit, this has almost not changed at all. Like, Tekken Tag was just an expansion on Tekken 3. It wasn't reinventing the wheel. So we look back at Kaz, and he's just kind of looking the exact same way he was in Tekken 1/Tekken 2. The devil design is almost unchanged as well from Tekken 2. If we're judging something here, it's this. And the nice part is that this ends up being the design that they use for like future reference in games. This is the design that takes Kazuya forward in terms of an overall character, sort of the CEO dickhead, right? This is how he looks like in game. This is what he looks like in promotion. The promotional version of Kazuya is like a 9. Like, oh my god, like this character is awesome. Fighting game characters don't really look like this outside of certain franchises like SNK games and stuff. Realize how long I'm spending on each of these. Jesus, man, we have so many to go through. And oh boy, howdy, goddamn, dude. So simple but effective. Like, good shit, Tekken 4. You are a weird game, but my god, dude, do you really hit when in terms of like evolving the characters in some way? Characters definitely evolved in Tekken 4. It was different, right? It was significantly different than the previous games, but you have to respect some of these designs. Like, this is genuinely cool looking. Yeah, the fact that like each side of his sleeves are just barely rolled up a bit. I just unbuttoned this shit to whoop your ass. I mean, granted, he also had his classic outfit in Tekken 4 as well, but this is really where the design, where we see the character in CG cutscene, and love this approach to the character. Instead of him being like a walking around vampire or something like that, some dude stewing in a castle, he's stewing in a 40-story tall high-rise. Still though, I think I'm gonna give this overall design probably the same as this. I think it's just great. What a cool looking character. Like I'm gonna give this like a 9, dude. I think it's so cool. I think the color design is also ridiculously cool. But I don't believe there's a Devil Kazuya in Tekken 4. Did he? Oh, it's like here. It essentially just looks like the same. So at this point, the devil character design has not changed yet. Don't need to talk much more about that. Tekken 4 Kazuya is badass. Jesus Christ. It's just so insane to see how the visuals upgrade from game to game. This is DR. Yeah. So a huge visual upgrade, right? But even Kazuya in the introductory cutscene kind of looks the same, right? He kind of has the same relative character design. Not a lot has technically changed into Tekken 5. He kind of is the same exact thing he's been in previous games. It's just that detail has gotten better. So, I mean, overall, this one looks okay. I mean, what am I going to give it rating wise? Probably like a 6. It looks good. It's traditional. The hair's getting better. It's going up, but it's like overall about a 6 out of 10 design. It hasn't evolved very much or gone very far. All the extra scars and stuff like that are a bit new. Because of that part of his design changing, his hair is also changing now. Also the red eye. Yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll be fair. I'll give this one overall like a 7. We've sort of like regressed a little bit away from the executive dickhead, right? Tekken 6 Kazuya, now this is the artwork that sort of like represented the character for the longest time for me. So this one, again, pretty similar design for what was presented in Tekken 5, right? Yeah, just more defined elements. Not much is changing. This character is really not going places yet. And to be honest, we have sort of regressed Kazuya back from the Tekken Tag stuff that we were seeing, which made him have a really specific iconic look, and especially in Tekken 4. So it's funny to see us going back to classic Kaz, although they actually go back to his Tekken 2 outfit. Granted, he had this in Tekken 5. This was always his like de facto alt. But it's just weird to see that once again, the character design is regressing. We're moving away from executive dickhead and we're going back to Vampire Man, which is weird because in the intro, he's got like the executive shithead outfit on, right? Here, he's actually kind of sick. Oh, wow. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Executive camo? Military fit because he's leading his PMC against Jin's war. It's weird that this would be the second time that Kaz has an outfit, like during an intro, that isn't maybe immediately available in the game. You have to like work for it in some way. This shit. Yeah, dude. Well, okay. This does once again push forward the sort of like executive asshole narrative that was built from some previous games where like, okay, so that is at least moving in some direction. That is cool. I like this. I don't think it's as good as, you know, I don't think it's nearly as good as these two, but I think it's at least like an 8. Right around this time frame, Tekken is doing not so great. Like the Tekken 6 to Tag 2 era, it seems to be sort of lacking its identity in some ways, which I guess leads us to Tag 2. Would you be shocked to learn that the default costume for Kaz in Tekken Tag 2 is pretty much the exact same shit? This bitch is like, don't you dare ask me to change my clothes. Don't you dare. They stick with the established look really hard. And I think almost to a degree a little too hard, right? It'll be dope that they finally give him the white, like, crocodile skin, snake skin outfit, right? That's gonna be dope. Nope. Tekken 2 costume. To be completely honest, Kazuya gets his best drip he's ever had. Kaz gets the best possible drip you could ever get in a Tekken game. Could be cheating, but good on you. You did it. It's an interesting choice. I'll give it an 8. I feel like I've seen the character before somewhere. Kaz got up out of his golden mountain of a CEO building and was like, I'm dressing up like a weirdo today. What about his Fundoshi outfit? Are you telling me that this is actually an alternate in Tekken Tag 2? I can see this bitch's crotch ramp. I can see the mother. I don't want to see Kazuya's goddamn crotch ramp. I don't want to see that. Confirm with me. Is this an actual alt? It's a custom. Okay, all right. I'm not rating this shit. This is not official Kazuya bullshit. What is this kid? I have to stop scrolling. Is this the one where they finally give Devil Kazuya like pants? There was a transformation. Yeah, this is a transformation. Up forward 1 plus 2. Yeah. It took a while for this dude to eventually get pants. By the way, this design of Devil, it's like a 6, okay? It's a little better. I don't love it, but it's a little better. Here's the thing that keeps popping up that I think is from Bloodlines or some shit. This is Blood Vengeance Kaz, right around the same time frame. The CGI movie. That is indeed what this character looked like at one point. It's just so much. And here's the thing. I know that this goes further in the story, but it doesn't seem like it goes nearly as much as this. I think this is like a 6. Rough. It's kind of hard to look at. Half of him is green, bro. Like, why is half of him, like, green? Luckily, the folks at Bandai Namco got the memo. And they're like, hey, we need to redesign our characters. What is the main design that Kazuya should have? Does anybody realize that we never had his Tekken Tag costume actually playable? Harada's like, you sit the hell down and shut the hell up. Get out. And he's like, write that down. Because look what they did. Uh-oh. It's just his Tekken Tag costume. So Tekken 7 finally gets the costume. So again, we have to go back to Tag 1 to see this costume for the first time. There it is. It's almost the same, right? It's almost the same minus like the difference of the tie. Yeah, they're like, okay, finally we get the full executive clothing, not just like the pulled up sleeves from Tekken 4. No, we're committing to the somewhat, you know, crocodile skin, snake skin jacket. He butchered an animal to create his suit. Very important. He's a violent asshole. This is just one of the best looking ones. It's like, oh my God. I think this is honestly like a 9.5. And the only reason I'm giving it a 9.5 personally is because we know this gets better. And I think the only other Kaz in Tekken 7 is, it's the same old. Almost indistinguishable from some stuff that's in Tekken 6, you know, much less Tekken Tag 2. It's a good looking. It's a classic, but it's classics like a 6 or a 7, depending on how much you're going to sugarcoat it. Devil Kazuya. And here's the thing, it's not even that much different than this shit, but it doesn't feel nearly as messy because there is a centralized color theme now. No more weird ass green. No more really jagged edges from all this crazy stuff. This guy just looks like a fish. He has some spikes in relatively like normal places like gauntlets and stuff like that. So I actually do not hate this Devil Kaz design. He feels like an actual like big last boss. All the eyeball lasers and stuff like that that come out of here. It feels like stronger and more focused, but I don't know if I love his winged eyeball eyes. I'm still gonna say it's better than before, but we're at like somewhere between a 6 or a 7. Somewhere between. Hey, look at the alternate outfits in Tekken stuff. This is almost going back to Tekken 1. The classic. What in the shit? What in the shit? Cool. Something, it actually isn't the Tekken 4 costume. It's just very close to it. Yeah. It isn't the same, it's just close. This is the 10 out of 10. Absolutely, I love it. Best Kazuya costume. Best Kazuya. Oh, now he's just got like shiny bits. Yeah, you know what okay, so here's the thing. You know what I love about Kaz? This is a character that like does all of these nutty ass crouch cancel shits, right? Disjoints his hips from his torso completely. He literally loses human functionality because his body just goes. What do you do to cover up that crazy bullshit? Give him a coat. Give him this wavy coat so you see that shit like waving in the background as you're going through all your waifu shit. It covers up your disjointed legs when you're doing all this other funky bullshit. I think Kazuya is just destined for a coat. He's literally his goddamn destiny to eventually get the CEO executive coat. It would be unfair if I didn't include this before we get on to Tekken 8, and it's Smash Kaz. I mean, they stick with the traditional route. To me, this looks close to the stuff that he would look like in games like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. But even Street Fighter Cross Tekken, like, this is almost just a nod and a toss in that direction because he looks like the same, dude. Almost identical in these games. Pretty much the same dude, right? It's pretty much Street Fighter Cross Tekken with a better art style. This bitch really was an ugly fucking game. Holy moly. There isn't much to rate here, dude. Because it's not changing. It's just different art styles. So, this is the best Kazuya's ever looked. By, like, a lot. I'm not even trying to be funny here. They gave him something that emphasizes the crazy-ass Tekken 2 vampire costume. 100%. But it's like a weird mixture of the feeling of the vampire costume with the really good Tekken tag outfit that would later become the defining staple of the character in like Tekken 7 and games like that, right? In Smash. It's perfect. And it does change. It is different than the stuff that happened before. It's not just more detailed. They added way more like girth in certain areas, and obviously the cloak has this huge split in the back now. It's wild to me that Tekken 8 actually has the best looking Kaz, period. So this is somewhat of a spoiler, but also like not really. True Devil Kazuya. This happens about like an hour into the story mode. It's like they gave him Guyver. They took the eyeballs out. Good. We have made progress. But now he got essentially Bio Guyver devil armor. Funny thing is that the more I look at it, I actually start to think that I don't specifically... It's very extreme. I think I'm okay with it. It looks like Monster Hunter armor is what I'm trying to get at. And it's not specifically a bad thing. I think it's more focused than the previous designs have been. I don't think we're getting anything past like a 7. Here at the end of all things, I think I can definitively say Tekken 8 Kazuya is the best Kazuya's ever looked. His default costume in that game is perfect and is an actual proper evolution of the character, while still always having the classic outfit, similar to how Street Fighter characters will almost always have their classic outfits and everything. To be completely real, this guy's pretty freaking menacing here. I think this shit is actually an amazing design. I think like in terms of visuals and character and what Kazuya is as a character, this is way better than this, but you could also argue Devil is also, you know, technically not Kazuya. Devil's a different character. Like, okay. Spyro on meth. Now we're getting places, okay? Now we're getting places. Oh, bitch. Oh, bitch. That's so sick. I didn't even realize they did that. Dude, they give him his Tekken 6 outfit. Tekken 8 is amazing, man. Jesus, dude. Tekken 8 is so dope. They get it. They're like, okay, best classic Kazuya, best Kazuya you wish you had, but you never had it, best Kazuya beforehand, best executive Kazuya, and now actual brand new evolved version of that. Game's fucking sick, man. Let's just finish this off with this. Hold up. I want to watch this. This right here. Kazuya smiling, surrounded by sneakers, completely surrounded by the most expensive limited release Nikes on the planet. Hell yeah.